The Never Girls, in a Blink. Chapter 1. There it was, that sound again. Kate McCready froze. The soccer ball rolled past her, but she didn't even notice. She cocked her head to one side, listening. Yes, it was the same sound she'd been hearing all afternoon. High and silvery, like little bells ringing. Kate looked around the backyard. What could it be? "I got it!" yelled Lainey Winters. She chased the ball into the corner of the yard. Lainey's big glasses slid down her nose as she scooped up the ball. "I got it!" she cried again. "Kate's the monkey in the middle now." Across the lawn, Kate's best friend, Mia Vasquez, put her hands on her hips. "What's the matter, Kate?" she asked. It wasn't like Kate to miss such an easy pass. "Do you hear that sound?" Kate asked her. "What sound?" Mia replied. "What's going on?" called Lainey, feeling left out. "Aren't we playing?" Kate listened again. She couldn't hear the bells anymore. She felt excited, although she didn't know why. "It was nothing, I guess," she said, turning back to the game. "You're in the middle now," Mia reminded her. Kate shrugged. She was good at soccer. She was good at most things that involved running, jumping, kicking, or catching. She was never in the middle for very long. "Okay, Lainey, you come take my spot," she called. "Lainey! Lainey?" Lainey didn't hear her. She was staring up at the sky. A flock of flamingos was passing overhead. "Flamingos?" thought Lainey. "That can't be right." Lainey's third-grade science book had a picture of a flamingo in it. Flamingos lived in warm, sunny places. They lived near oceans and lakes. They didn't live in cities like Lainey's. Maybe her glasses were playing tricks on her. Lainey took them off and rubbed them on her shirt. When she put them back on, the flamingos were gone. Where they'd been, Lainey saw only feathery clouds. "Lainey!" Mia yelled. Lainey looked over, startled. "Did you see the flamingos?" she asked. From the way Kate and Mia stared at her, Lainey could tell she'd said something wrong. She felt her face turn red. "We're ready to play," said Kate. "But you have the ball?" Lainey looked down at the ball in her arms. "Oh, right." Lainey set the ball down on the ground. She glanced up at the sky one last time. Not a flamingo in sight. But as the clouds drifted toward the horizon, Lainey could have sworn she heard the sound of flapping wings. Across the lawn, Mia was growing impatient. Why were her friends acting so funny today? All Mia wanted to do was finish their game. At last, to Mia's relief, Lainey kicked the ball. Good, Mia thought. No more interruptions. But just then, the back door of Mia's house slammed open. A small girl in a pink tutu burst outside. She went streaking across the lawn, making a noise like a bumblebee. "Gabby!" Mia shouted at her little sister. She was headed right for Kate, who was chasing the ball. "Watch out!" Too late. Gabby slammed into Kate. Both girls tumbled to the ground. "Gabby!" Mia hollered again, annoyed. "Quit getting in the way!" Gabby sat up. She straightened the costume fairy wings she was wearing. "I wasn't getting in the way," she said. "Kate got in my way. I was flying." "You were not flying," Mia said. "You were being a pest." "It's okay," said Kate, getting up from the grass. "Gabby, do you want to play with us?" "Yes," said Gabby at the same moment that Mia said no. The two sisters glared at each other. "Gabby, you're too little," Mia said in her best big sister voice. "Go play somewhere else." Gabby stuck her tongue out at Mia. Then she stomped off toward the flower bed. Gabby liked to play among the flowers, even though she wasn't supposed to. "Gabby, you leave Mammy's flowers alone," Mia said. Gabby ignored her. She crouched down and examined something in the tulips. "Ooh!" "Oh!" she exclaimed. "A fairy!" Mia rolled her eyes. Her little sister had a big imagination. But at least she wasn't bugging them anymore. Mia turned back to the game. At that moment, the wind picked up. Mia caught the smell of seawater. "That's odd," she thought. She looked around. Something about the way the breeze was blowing made the scrawny trees in her yard sound like rustling palms. Mia had the funny feeling that if she peeked through the fence, she would see the ocean right next door. Of course, she knew that was crazy. The ocean was hundreds of miles away. The wind sent the soccer ball sailing into a corner of the yard. It bent the flowers on their stems and whipped the girls' hair. Above it, Mia could hear a noise like waves crashing on a beach. The other girls heard it too. Something strange was happening. They stepped closer together and reached for each other's hands. "Gabby!" Mia cried, suddenly afraid. "Gabby, come here!" When the fairy appeared in the garden, Gabby was not surprised. She often pretended to talk to fairies. Sometimes she pretended she was a fairy. Fairies were so much a part of Gabby's world that it seemed perfectly natural to see one sitting among her mother's tulips. "Hello, fairy," Gabby said. "I'm Prilla," said the fairy. "Clap if you believe in fairies." No one believed more than Gabby. She clapped her hands hard. Prilla the fairy turned a happy cartwheel in the air. "I have to go home now," said Prilla. "Don't go yet," Gabby cried, just as the wind started to pick up. The wind was blowing hard. Gabby heard her sister calling, "Gabby, Gabby, come here." Because she was afraid Prilla might blow away, Gabby put her hands around her. She held the fairy lightly, cupped in her palms, the way you would hold a butterfly. And then Mia grabbed her. The moment Mia touched Gabby, the world blinked. All the girls felt it. It was like the slow click of a camera lens. The next instant, the backyard was gone.